Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing, bitches banging, 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 banging. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing like bang, 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 bitch, nigga, bang, 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 bang.
Bitch, yeah.
Hate me now, enemies gon' hate me now. Enemies gon' hate me now, enemies gon' hate me now. Hate me now, enemies. Hustlers got some mana, but I handle that, so hate me now. Got the Louis slugger, you better cover when I hit a foul. You better be so quick to get it hip when the pistol show. All my niggas get me creeping slow, and we on that blow. That I use, searching for an easy man. Demon in me wakes, now I shake and don't feel okay. Yeah, I'm terrified in my mind, so corrupted too. Feel so blizzo, hizzo, off that snizzo, but still keep it smooth. Evil prim, stay so blend, busy down with Psycho Mike. Scheming, leaning all throughout the night, down in Metro Height. Bitch, you getting sprayed from grenade when I put up in. Catch the P, here with me, and we always going in. Shaking in my bed, hating leaves you gray all dead. Don't you rest so tears up, call your blizz up when I'm on my man. I face so much crime, stay inside. I have on my mind. Please don't shoot your kids on, send you his on, get your miss on ride. Enemies so close to me, especially gon' hate me now. Motivated jealousy, but still I elevate somehow. Smiling face all in my space, deep inside you hating me. Take that loaded Glock 19 and kill that kind with courtesy. Enemies so close to me, especially gon' hate me now. Motivated jealousy, but still I elevate somehow. Smiling face all in my space, deep inside you hating me. Take that loaded Glock 19 and kill that kind with courtesy. Hate me now, enemies gon' hate me now. Hate me now, enemies.
You hate me now, nigga, damn, I thought we was cool. You hate me now, I thought we was cool.
You mad at me now, but all I do is laughing. Then chop a bullet, split him up like he a fraction. He run up on me, think it's chicken, now he past tense. Yes, I am evil Prince, but also Trace, so blast him. I catch him loafing, I'ma up the gun and let it bust. I got them niggas in the car ready to shoot shit up. You mention me, boy, I'ma kill him, best not test your luck. Yo, bitch, a groupie, all up in my DMs tryna fuck. These niggas lying in they songs, you know they capping. I'm on the block, I put in work, you niggas slacking. My nigga get jammed up and then we go and post bail. But if your nigga run up, we gon' send his ass to hell. Ain't have a ruler, kept a Ruger when I was in school. I'm hitting ops with
Red alert. All hands stand to battle stations.
Warning. Warning. Nigga babble detected. System overload. Warning. Warning. Nigga babble detected. System overload.
You talking choppers, you getting right. You wanna blow with the dope every night.
Said he wanna subscribe, so we took him all night.
Say you wanna get paid, you wanna be right.
He team 4K got slapped
Walking
deep
down,
pipe.
still got on these shades, even though it ain't night. Cause they little pink pills too hard. Let's go on a SRT with a Draco tank. Got a little boy way, can't sleep at night.
You gotta go get your motherfucking dope. You gotta run, say fuck out that hoe. I was just broken, I didn't have a friend, so I went in the trap and I sold me some dope.
Let's
for
go.
real.
Poppin' purse, make her suck dick for an hour, get to work. I told the bitch to get nasty for double. She bought her best friend, they for each other. Okay for me, make her fuck my brother. Got a team full of players, free band, no struggle.
Big 4K down to the door.
Might get in there more, go dig with shovel. Break out the chopstick, hit on wherever. Broad daylight, bitch, I'ma get on wherever. Let's go, double O walk on this bitch, but I like to talk on this bitch.
Hold on.
Purpose said walk on this bitch, the purpose said talk on this bitch.
Hold on.
I should be geeking out drugs, taking all kinds of shit. Bitch wanna fuck, she fine, and she all kind of bitch.
Running through this, I don't care about shit. The world won't talk, though. Rich little man got shot, he slide, little boy, you a bitch. 15 ball, one play on me. 15 ball.
Hey, peace. What's going on? What's happening? Hey, somebody let me know they can hear me loud and clear. I decided to do this one in StreamYard. Let me know, we up and running. Let me know that we up and running because I had to set up my audio or whatever and make it come through my headset. I can do it on this. For whatever reason, I can't do it through YouTube Live. So somebody let me know we good on the ones and twos. Somebody let me know we are good on the ones and twos. I also put in the link in case anybody want to come in as well. I just need an okay as far as audio. That is coming in good and proper and not coming in through the phone mic. Somebody, anybody. God damn, let me know what's up. Can anybody hear me? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You've been hit by a smooth criminal. So I'll need to know. Okay, y'all bullshit. Y'all are bullshit. It shouldn't be that hard. But anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and get started. But peace, let me say peace, what's up with everybody first. Like I said, I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. Shit, I don't know. But let me say peace. What's going on with everybody? Again, tomorrow is Wednesday, and I believe it's Wednesday. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 7:30. It may be a late start time because I had a late start today. But for the sake of the show, we still gonna say 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. TFP back into place. TFP episode 10, I believe. Skynet, living in the age of AI. We're gonna go and do that episode tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be talking about AI, its effects on the world per se, legislatively. We'll be talking about AI. That's what we're gonna talk about. That's just what it is. It's gonna be a full show dedicated to AI. Originally I had told Vet Cat that I was gonna try to sneak in. What the fuck is what the fuck is going on with my voice? Yesterday I told well, not yesterday, but I told Vet Cat that we was gonna try to sneak in the Hassan Piker stuff. I'm gonna dedicate the next episode of TFP to that because it's bigger than Hassan. It's bigger than Hassan. We're gonna go full spectrum on what is going on with the left and its infiltration of the Democratic Party. Full stop. And like I said, it goes beyond Hassan Piker. We're gonna deal with Hassan Piker, Graham Plattner, leftist media, so on. So we're gonna deal with the whole shebang. We're gonna do that next week on TFP, but this week it'll be a full episode dedicated to AI. You know, I'm gonna try to cover as much stuff as I can. Again, with the new layout of how I do TFP now, I'm doing condensed videos, like 1 or 2 videos, then the duck. But you know, for the sake of having a dedicated episode, I'm gonna try to stuff in as much relevant stuff about AI as possible in next week's, not next week, but tomorrow's show. So tune in to that, man. TFP, Tape Fist Politics, episode 10, Skynet, living in the age of AI. Again, tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with myself, Vancat, and hopefully Ricardo. Hopefully Ricardo can join us for that show because it was his idea. So hopefully he can join us with that show. But I wanted to talk about something specific today as I roll. And like I said, I chose to go on StreamYard because I wanted to play a video. I wanted to play a video that, to me, it poses a question. And you see the name of the title, MAGA Looking in the Mirror. And I'm talking specifically about MAGA maniacs, right? I've never been the person, you know, Vancat joke and say shit like, you know, are we great yet? Or talk about, you know, the foolishness of the MAGA voter, this, that, and the fourth. I don't necessarily do that. Yeah, I question certain policies that are contradictory to MAGA. I mean that's basically the whole point of the discourse, right? But I don't necessarily say that a MAGA maniac should regret their vote. But at the same time, I mean by that, and I'm getting the fucking call. Y'all hold on 1 minute. I'll be right back. Damn, my bad, y'all. I'm back. Somebody let me know I'm back. Somebody let me know I'm back. Somebody let me know I'm good, man. It's always when you want to do shit, man. Folks start calling. Like I said, that was the woman, man. You know how that shit would have been if I would have declined it. Know how that shit would have been if I would have declined it, man. She usually call me when she get up. Usually, like she worked overnight, so she'll get up when my kids get home from school, and the kids just got home from school. My twins did, so she got her up, and then of course she got to call me when she get up. You know, for whatever reason. But it's all good, man. It's all good. Is my audio back straight? Am I good now? Somebody let me know. Anybody? Y'all killing me, man. If you don't want to do that, at least hit the fucking thumbs up. At least do that. At least do that. Like I said, I can't see it because I'm in StreamYard, but you know, throw me that solid at the very fucking least. At the very fucking least. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I don't even remember at this point. So the title is MAGA Looking in the Mirror. The main reason I did the show today on StreamYard and not YouTube Live is because I want to play a video. And when I saw this video this morning, it made me think about the convictions of a MAGA maniac, just in general, right? A MAGA maniac in general. MAGA likes to portray this idea of having strong convictions, right? Having a solid foundation in a quote unquote morals, right? Or principles or whatnot. Again, y'all know how I feel about morality. Morality is subjective, you know, in its core. Nobody can share anybody's morals. They can be the same, of course, but they're not the same based on anybody else's convictions. You can only have morals that you stand on. It don't matter if somebody taught them to you, you read about them, i.e. the Bible, so on and so forth. It doesn't matter. Your morality is your morality in your heart of hearts. You're the only person that has them, even though there's a million more people with the same core value. That don't mean shit. It's yours. Morality is individualistic. When I start learning about Ayn Rand and objectivism and the core tenets of individualism as it pertains to morals, that's where I broke off with Ayn Rand, right? I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. You just got finished teaching me about objectivism and the morality of individualism, but yet you try to tie that morality into a collective. When you just told me it's not a collective, it's individualism. And you know, based on the collective morality of objectivism, these things will happen. I get it from a like-minded standpoint, but no, it's not collective. Only you can have your morals. Morality is not some type of altruistic viewpoint. It's different people with like-minded principles, right? And morality has been tied to a collective understanding for the longest time, which is false. You know, it can go one or two ways. I could come to a like-minded consensus of my principles, but we can meet it from two different viewpoints, right? I.e. Christianity and Islam. Similar morality viewpoint, two different paths, right? Or my morals could be the total opposite of yours. Fact. So I've always looked at convictions in a different light, even from the core foundation of what built my ideology, which is objectivism and the teachings of Ayn Rand. So when I look at a MAGA maniac, I'm talking about a hardcore, I'm not talking about nobody specific. I'm just talking in general. Just in general, right? When I look at a MAGA maniac and their convictions based on the end of 2020 up until now, because that's a critical time frame. We're talking about the 2020 election, the loss of Trump, the election of Biden, a strong opposition being formed through a new age of MAGA-ism, for a lack of a better term, up until the election of Trump 2.0 in 2024, going through the inauguration up until now, with certain policy demands versus policy implementations of Trump. All I'm asking a MAGA maniac to do is simply look in the mirror. I'm not shaming you or talking in bad faith as to your choice when it came to the presidential campaign. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not here for that. I simply want you to look in the mirror and question your own morality. Not the morality of the collective, your own. Question, challenge your own convictions based on why you voted for Trump versus what's being done right now. That's all I want you to do. A lot of times when you put the challenge toward a MAGA maniac of this, they come up with straw men, ad hominem attacks, logical fallacies, red herrings, talking about some shit you never talked about, so on and so forth. They never challenge, especially successfully, their own convictions in their MAGAdom. I don't see it. I don't see it. I simply don't see it. I'm talking about the general consensus of MAGA. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about the general consensus. Then you have certain influential people, like the video I'm about to play, that goes into stark detail as to what their convictions are versus what the results are as it pertains to Trump. Looking in the mirror. You can only look in the mirror in good faith. If you do it in bad faith, the shit don't work. It just don't. It does not work whatsoever. Because then you begin to lie to yourself. And the only reason you're lying to yourself is because it acts as a defense mechanism to block shame and regret. You know, a sense of being uncomfortable in your own political skin, so to speak. A lot, and it may be hard to believe, but that's a fact. A lot of people are uncomfortable in their own political skin. That's why you have motherfuckers say, well, when I'm at work, I don't talk about politics and all this type of dumb shit, right? It's because you're embarrassed to one, let people know how you really feel politically. Two, showcasing your ineptitude or your ignorance when it comes to politics. That's why they don't do it. That's a fact. That's a fact. When people talk about not mixing so-and-so with politics, you're not mixing nothing. You're just giving an opinion. And I don't have an issue with you giving an opinion. Just like you shouldn't have an issue with me criticizing your opinion. You know, it is what the fuck it is. So without further ado, let me play this video. And on the other side, I'm going to ask the question again. How deeply do you look in the political mirror at what's reality versus what your convictions are? And how hard do you fight it? I mean, I think that's a question posed in reality. Let me find the video and we'll talk on the other side.
You and I and everyone else who supported him, you wrote speeches for him, I campaigned for him. I mean, we're implicated in this for sure.
Yes.
It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or like, oh, this is bad, I'm out. It's like in very small ways, but in real ways, you and me and millions of people like us are the reason this is happening right now.
Yes.
So I do think it's like a moment to wrestle with our own consciences. You know, we'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be. And I want to say I'm sorry for misleading people. It was not intentional. That's all I'll say. But anyway, but the question does present itself immediately, like, what is this? Was this always the plan? You don't want to be a conspiracy nut, but like, clearly there were signs of low character. We knew that.
Yes.
But it didn't, there are tons of people of low character who like outperform their character. It doesn't have to be.
Sort of the norm, actually, these days, I
right.
would say.
I've outperformed my character a lot. I don't have especially high character, right? But, you know, you try to, whatever, you try your best. But what was this? Was this always the plan?
You know, looking back after the last year and a half, it seems like it kind of was. And it's easy. Well, you could get really deep about it and say, what was Butler? Like, how was it that and Ryan Ruth, I mean, he was subject to 2 legitimate assassination attempts. Have we ever gotten to the bottom? I know you've talked a lot about this, but have we ever gotten to the bottom of that?
I haven't talked a lot about it. I don't know the answer, but I know that those investigations have been stymied. Fact.
Yeah, stymied from the very top, from people who actually would have the power to get to the bottom of it.
And the motive.
Yes,
yeah,
very much. So the enormous amount of money he got from Miriam Adelson now seems suspect to a lot of people at the time. But, you know, there's a lot of money in politics. To run for president requires an enormous, I mean, Cackling Camel Toe went through $2 billion in 4 months. So, sure, there's an argument to be made that you get money from those who will give it to you. It's just the nature of that game. But it's still reprehensible, and it's still a big question mark. Why would someone who has obvious and demonstrated allegiance to a foreign power give Donald Trump $250 million while he's running for president? I mean, how is that defensible? It's really not. If Russia had given a PAC for Trump, you know, if the mayor of Moscow had somehow, you know, assembled an enormous amount of money and put it in a 501c3 for Trump's benefit, would that have been acceptable? Of course it wouldn't have been. So what does it's so basic, comes back to the money. Like, what did they get in return for that amount of investment? And it's clear.
I get it. No, I mean, of course, I agree with every word that you're saying. I just think, given his behavior and his demonstrated disloyalty and viciousness to previous supporters.
Yes.
Why wouldn't he display the same lack of loyalty to Miriam Adelson? I mean, that's kind of the question. The only people he's been loyal to are the neocons and his donors.
Okay. I think that video was very impactful. Very impactful. Because it goes to something that me personally has been discussing with my TFP colleagues for several weeks. When it comes to how the game of politics are played, you may not like it. You may not like it. You may advocate for certain pieces of legislation to be passed in order to quell that part of the game of government. That's fine. I ain't got no issue with that. No issue whatsoever. But the fact of the matter is, as it pertains to the here and now, it's part of the game. PACs, campaign contributions, donations, et cetera, is the way you play politics in the here and now. Facts. So there's three things that were the most impactful. We'll start with the latter and then work our way back. They talked about Miriam Adelson and the $250 million contribution. This was known way before November the 6th. Way before. Everybody knew about it. Democratic strategists and pundits and talking heads talked about it. Yet it was a non-starter for MAGA maniacs. Why? Because instead of looking into the mirror and challenging their own convictions, they chose to look away. Because they knew that $250 million was going to be a game changer for Trump's campaign, because they know how politics works. They know that. You don't think they know it? They know it. If part of your convictions are America first, now, like I said, this is the dumbassery of it all. If part of your convictions are America first, getting away from foreign policy as it pertains to Israel, so on and so forth, yet you just chose not to even discuss or have a discourse about the fact that Miriam Adelson was the single biggest contributor. Well, I'm talking about individual, because the single biggest contributor actually was Big Oil. But I'm talking about like individual. Single biggest individual contributor to Trump's campaign was Miriam Adelson. That we know for a fact is big into the Zionist agenda, however you want to portray it, however you want to look into that. That's your prerogative. Yet MAGA maniacs who strong in their convictions of America First policy chose to look away. Secondly, Tucker Carlson, along with his brother Buckley, did something in this particular clip on his podcast that I commend him for 100%. And that is that he apologized for misleading the millions of MAGA voters in the 2024 election. Not my words, he said it. And he said it based on the third thing, saying that him, as well as millions of MAGA maniac voters, are implicated in what's happening right now. Again, I did not say it. Tucker Carlson said it. Tucker Carlson said it. I didn't say it. He said that his brother wrote speeches for Trump during the campaign. Tucker Carlson campaigned for Trump during the campaign. So he's guilty and he's implicated into the result, the very actions of Trump in the here and now. That's what he said. I commend Tucker Carlson for saying that. Because why? Tucker Carlson is strong in his convictions. He's strong. Tucker Carlson can get up in the morning and look himself in the mirror and understand that based on his convictions, based on his principles, based on his individual morals, I bamboozled the people based on a lie. I'm paraphrasing. But he's strong enough in his convictions to say that. That takes a big amount of humility. There are many MAGA maniacs that don't have the ability to do that at all. Like I said again, then he apologized for misleading the MAGA faithful. Even though, again, he's strong enough in his convictions to understand the wrongs in what was done, he's not directly implicated in no form or fashion. But based on his campaign contributions, i.e., speaking engagement, so on and so forth, he feels as though that he is implicated, when really he's not. He ain't part of Trump's cabinet. He's not involved in the administration whatsoever. But that's a man strong in his convictions. That's a man willing to face the mirror and understand the wrongs in his doing. That's just a fact. Even if in reality, it's really not his fault. Everybody has their own individual mind. And I don't believe it's Tucker Carlson's fault. It's not Tucker Carlson's fault that you got some soft-minded individuals that don't understand the basic know-how of what's going on with government and, look at their own socio-political findings within themselves and not what the rule of law is, not what the structure of government is, so on and so forth. That ain't Tucker Carlson's fault. That ain't Tucker Carlson's fault at all. But he feels guilty in the fact that he helped facilitate a bad faith campaign to soft-minded people. Facts. Facts. I commend Tucker Carlson for that, man. I do. I really do. I just got to be honest. So for the rest of the MAGA maniacs, I challenge you to do what Tucker Carlson did. Again, that don't mean that you're going to come to the same conclusion. It don't mean that at all. What it does mean that you're going to be solid when it comes to your moral and ideological foundation. You're going to hold steadfast to your principles. Or you're going to falter under the weight of your skewed opinions and perspectives. Do you understand that the term owning the libs is the very definition of a straw man? The very definition. I mean, I want you to hammer that shit in your head only for a second. You're so zoned in to having a tunnel-like vision of the opposition that you go against your very principled nature. That's damnable, y'all. It's damnable. That's essentially what Tucker Carlson just said. he holds himself responsible for giving you that perspective. Are you willing to do the same, MAGA Maniac? I'm just asking. Or has the line been blurred so badly that it has become your very nature as it pertains to your own convictions? That's another possibility. It really is. Again, y'all have heard me, and I said this at the beginning of the video. Y'all know how I view morality. There's no such thing as morality. And people look at me crazy when I say that. But it goes over their head when I say it. I'm not saying that you don't have principles and morals. I'm not saying that. I'm saying is that your principles and your sense of morality is yours and yours alone. It's nobody else's. So through that logic, the only conclusion can be there's no such thing as morality. Not from the outside looking in. That's a fact. The only way that you could say that it's some type of collective morality is through coercion and authoritarianism. That's the only way you can do that. The only way. The only way. Now, you could say, well, MD, what about laws? What about ethics and so on and so forth? Well, laws are built on the ultimate perception of individual rights and freedoms. That's the difference between law and morality. Laws are based on freedoms. What do I mean by that? Simple. If you kill me, you have violated my right to life. If you steal from me, you violated my right to property, et cetera, so on and so forth. You violated me. That's not the same as morality. Law is not judged based on morality. It's judged off your own individual rights. That's the beauty of our Constitution. That's the beauty of it. So again, that's not a good faith argument. It's not a good faith argument comparing law and morality. It's not good faith at all. Ethics, now that's a whole nother can of worms. Ethics is agreed upon within the institution that those ethics are to be implemented and portrayed. Ethics are not the same across the board. So that's not an argument either. So morality in and of itself is an individual outlook of certain core values that are instilled in you in whatever way. It isn't anybody else's, like at all. And I need you to understand this. Based on what Tucker Carlson said, he understands this. He understands it. So I just wanted to come on here real quick, play that video, and challenge the MAGA faithful, challenge the average MAGA maniac. Have you looked in the mirror and are you challenging your own convictions? I'm not asking you, are we great yet? Do you regret your vote for Trump? I'm not asking none of that shit. It's not my place to ask. You're your own individual person. I don't have the right to ask you that. You know, me and my colleague, TFP colleague, Van Cat, may disagree on that. But what I can do is compare and contrast what's in the here and now as it pertains to Trump and this administration versus your own convictions. I can do that. And if you get to babbling, if you're doing the old switcheroo, you're doing whataboutism, that lets me know that you're not secure in your own conviction. And I just leave it at that. You're not secure in your own conviction whatsoever. You have dialogue in bad faith. You're having difficulty staying up to date with the conversation. You don't know what the fuck is going on. So sometimes you outright refuse to deal with the issue at hand, hoping that it just simply go away. You're weak in your convictions. You're devoid of any type of socio-political principle. You like the villain role. Is what it boils down to. So what the fuck are we really talking about here? What the fuck are we really talking about? I use that picture as a thumbnail to give it a example of what I'm talking about. I think it's 1.7 or something like that billion dollars that Obama gave to the Iranians directly. Remember, dropped it in the wooden box or whatever the fuck during the JCPOA. Compared to the here and now, based on lifting of sanctions and other incentives toward Iran for a peace deal, we're talking about damn near 18 or 19 times that. And not a peep from the average MAGA maniac. Some of the MAGA talking heads and pundits, they try to rationalize the shit, which diminishes their original opinion about giving Iran money in the first place. Bad faith. Bad faith, man. So that's all I want to do. I just want to challenge MAGA maniacs. Hey, look in the mirror. It shouldn't be that hard, you know. Shouldn't be that hard. I've always been taught that Republicans are the ones that are the most strongly convicted. That's what I've always been taught. You know, rest in peace with my grandfather, who I lost last year. He was strongly convicted in his social conservatism. Never shied away from it. Never shied away from his Christian perspective on the protection of Israel. Never shied away from it. Never in my life. Held steadfast to his convictions. I didn't have to agree with him, but I could never challenge the skewed nature of it with a stark contrast between what was being done and what he believed. His perception would ebb and flow based on what was happening in the here and the now. But his principles never changed. Never changed. never rationalized, never straw man, never pulled the whataboutism, never. And like I said, that's just one example. We're talking about a myriad of data points as it pertains to Trump. So I just wanted to come up here and say that, man. Again, be sure to tune in tomorrow. TLP episode 10, Skynet, Living in the Age of AI, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to tune into that. Be on the lookout for more of my lives. Again, I just wanted to do this on StreamYard because I had that video to show. Because I had the video to show. Let me also say, it's a lot of people been going in and out. Y'all ain't shit, man. If you didn't hit the thumbs up, if you didn't let me know that my audio was good, y'all ain't shit. I'm going to just be honest with you. Shame on the man. Shame on you. But with that being said, hey, let me get the fuck out of here. I'm about to get ready to get some fuel. I would stay and do a fuel update, but I really don't see the point. The deadline is tomorrow, so maybe we'll see a change then. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. So with that being said, hey, appreciate everybody that came through. Appreciate everybody that's going to watch later. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, man, so we can get TFP popping. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, man, to the MD20 channel. Hey, with that, I'm going to say peace.
Wah, wah, wah.